Have you guys ever like pulled out a hangnail before?
A what?
A hangnail.
What's a hangnail?
It's like when your finger, like I don't know how to describe it. It's like when a piece of skin. I don't know if it's actually like fingernail or like
Um,
skin gets on the side of your like finger right here. So
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
other day I was just chilling. I got a fat hangnail and I pulled it out. And I think my finger's infected.
I used to do that, and then I discovered it hurt too much. I
Wait,
cut it
why
now.
did it pull off like too much of the nail or?
I don't know how it works. I just pull things and it hurts afterwards. It just
Oh,
yeah.
Or it's because usually you pull off too much of the nail, or am I thinking something else?
Yeah. I told my girlfriend. She was like, "What the fuck, dude?" She was not entertained.
Neosporin.
Um, yeah, I don't know how to fucking make her happy, dude.
As a future doctor, as a future MD, my life hack for you guys is: do you guys know what turmeric is?
Turmeric?
Yeah,
Powder?
yeah, it's an orange
Yeah.
powder. So it has
Yeah.
antiseptic properties. So let's say you ever cut yourself, if you just sprinkle turmeric onto your site of bleeding, then it'll just clot, like your blood will clot up.
Doesn't it also
Oh.
give you jaundice? Because it turns you orange and shit.
No, turmeric is good for you.
No. You like put like turmeric on your skin. It turns you orange, so it makes it look like you have jaundice.
Oh, it makes it look like, well, yeah, because the powder itself it doesn't actually give it to you, but
Why not just use Neosporin?
Shut up, Danny. You fucking drink like
rubbing alcohol.
spices when you get sick at school. You just heat up a bunch of water and eat spices
No.
raw.
No, I take my grandpa's Chinese medicine.
Yeah, what? You
So-
know what's in
True.
it?
I don't know what's in it. I didn't make it. I just take it.
well, so 3 out of 4 of us here are Asian. So I'm just curious, do you guys believe in or do you guys use these at-home remedies?
Yeah.
What about Jorge? Wait, does Jorge? Do you guys have any like, I don't know, traditional
Western
medicine or
medicine.
non-Western medicine? Yeah.
Or like, what do you mean? But like, give an example of
Acupuncture.
that kind of stuff.
Oh.
Or
Asian
like
medicine.
fucking, I don't know, like
letting out blood.
no. Shut up, dude.
That's
like
the thing.
like the weird shit where they like steam water and they put like ginger and like random assortment of like
Yeah.
aromatics and then you like steam yourself with it, right? To like
Yeah.
expel this sickness. Like, does your culture have anything similar?
I don't know about my culture, but my family personally does not. I guess we just have like specific like, I guess cream or just creams that we apply to everything, kind of see
Tiger
if it
Balm.
works.
Like Tiger Balm or green oil or the equivalent?
Yeah.
Probably something like that. Yeah,
Aloe vera.
yeah.
But you, Saichandra.
You mentioned the icy hot, right? I use an equivalent called Bengay.
Oh, I've used that before.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
just,
I like using them because they smell refreshing.
yeah, it really helps with muscle soreness.
Yeah, I put
Yeah.
icy hot on my fucking feet and then I wear socks and I sleep with it. It helps me sleep sometimes. Like if I'm feeling sick. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but it's like it warms up the entire body.
Whenever I apply icy hot or Bengay, I don't wear anything. I don't sleep with any clothes because I don't want that to get stuck
Yep.
onto my clothes.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
why? You can just wash it off.
Yeah, but it
Yeah,
has a weird smell.
Yeah.
But you're right. You could just wash it off.
The smell's fine, but
It's not that bad. It
Yeah.
doesn't smell like
Oh,
anything after you wash
I've
it.
only
like
used
the
Tiger
smell.
Balm. Oh, okay.
Wait,
is
so
it
you don't
still
wear
similar?
anything? What about like how do you sleep?
Underwear?
Yeah, I wear boxers and that I go to. I mean, normally I don't sleep with a shirt on.
I mean, yeah, same.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll just wear shorts or boxers. The more you know.
Yeah. Wait, does everyone like normally sleep with clothes on? I usually never have any clothes other than like obviously like my boxers, but like everything else is like it's like
I mean,
free.
I guess
I've
I
never slept without a shirt. I've slept without pants, but I haven't slept without a shirt before.
Dude, you should try it without a shirt. It's actually fire.
yeah. It
I
really
feel like
helps.
if I,
It helps with your body temperature.
I
I
think
think
it
if I
just
do that, I'm gonna get sick.
for me it just depends on like, I don't know. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. The weather, you know.
Oh, JK, I've done it in Asia, but that was because it was summer. It was hot as. Ugh. so hot.
How do you guys like your room when you sleep? I like to have mine I like to have it really cold with the fan. Like always, no matter even if it's winter, I want the fan running because I feel like I like the circulation of air. Even if it's like dummy cold. I like the feeling of like it's warm in the blanket, but it's like really cold outside the blanket. So I try and emulate that however possible.
I'm pretty weird. So I also agree with the fan. It's just having the fan on at all times at night helps me go to sleep quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then also I always need a blanket or a comforter.
Oh yeah.
So
I always have it on.
Yeah.
It's really hard to sleep for me if I don't have that blanket or comforter on top of me. So I think I agree with Randy's, but I guess I don't really mind if it's not too cold, just cold enough for it to be comfortable with that on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer it cool as well. Do you guys have a pillow? I also have a separate pillow. For some reason, I need a pillow to like hug or something.
I have 2 pillows always. I have the one on my head and the one to like hug.
Sometimes I just don't have a pillow.
Dang.
What the fuck?
That's
Wait, you
insane.
have pillowless?
Sometimes, like, I just don't feel like having something under my head, you know?
Wait,
I can't relate.
I remember Daniel talking about this. Like, you need 2 pillows, but you're fine sleeping without a mattress.
Yeah, I don't need a mattress. As long as there's something decently soft on the ground, I need my pillows and maybe something to cover me, but that's it. I don't need a mattress. It has to be a topper is fine, or like a tatami or something, or just like a sleeping bag. But I don't really see the need for a mattress as long as it doesn't hurt my back.
What the fuck?
I'm still gonna bring a mattress next year because my parents are making me.
They're making you get a mattress. What the fuck,
like,
Daniel? Shut up.
They're like, we have extra mattress. Why don't you just take it? I was like, "Ugh." Oh yeah. I was saying at first I'm not gonna bring a mattress to the apartment next year, and then Randy was like, "That's a bad idea," but I guess my parents think so too. So I'm gonna bring a mattress.
Hey, let's say you still don't want to use the mattress. You can always have guests over.
But then,
You can have someone leech off of your apartment.
then next year's room is a little small. I feel like I'm gonna have a hard time fitting that many people. We'll
Are you guys
see.
coming back for sure in the fall?
Depends what we're.
Depends.
Did they even announce what's going on?
They say it's hybrid, right? It's like
I don't think they've announced anything official.
It's unofficial.
yeah, but it's like, isn't it pretty much some classes are online and some classes are offline, or is it? I know for sure it's gonna be online, available online, but it's like I think it's optional in person, but it's like kind of confusing as of right now.
I agree. I think my guess would be that all lectures will still be recorded and uploaded onto our CCLE, which is just the website for all your classes and materials, right? So large lectures will probably still be via Zoom. If it's small lectures, maybe they will take on the big lecture halls so that even though the attendance isn't as large, you can just spread out all the students. That's my guess.
How do you Zoom an in-person class though? You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I feel like you're pretty much forced to like how are you supposed to have a lecture format in person for everyone? Like in person and online, right? It's like I know for sure, like we're pretty much guaranteed that it's going to be online, right? Like online will always be an option, right? So say you take a lecture class, but it's like, okay, we're also going to offer this in person if you want to, right? So does that mean the professor has to do the lecture twice, like record one in person? Like what if they use the whiteboard? Like you can't capture that on Zoom.
They used to do that with like Bruincast, right?
Oh, so they just do like a Bruincast.
Yeah, that's a good point because I don't know how the professor would communicate with questions that people have online as well.
Yeah.
Because they obviously can't do that with Bruincast.
Exactly.
I think the dumber thing is like now at the classes at these points, I feel like a lot of the professors just has given up on communicating with chat, right?
Oh, really?
Like none of my classes, my professors, they don't even talk to chat. They have their teams and answer questions in the middle of it, right?
Yeah.
Which makes the point like, what is the point of like studying, like watching a lecture on time versus like just watching a pre-recording of it? Because like with the pre-recording, you can go faster, you can pause and you can go back, right? If the professor's not going to interact with chat, there's like no point to make it live. There's like, I'd rather have a like well presented, well spoken video where this professor either like doesn't stutter, they don't go like what, and they don't go on tangents, rather than like a live lecture where they don't interact at all. You know what I mean? It's like defeats the whole purpose of having it live.
Oh yeah, I don't even watch my lectures live anymore. I prefer to just watch it recorded so I can go times 2 speed or whatever. I only attend my live lectures for Japanese because there's no other option. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like if your professor's not going to respond to chat, then there's little point in calling it a live broadcast. Cause
Yeah. Like, how are your classes doing it?
all of my professors do a pretty good job checking on chat, and then they manage their time pretty well. Yeah. I think my professors are actually like thinking about what they want to talk about beforehand. Because like sometimes my professor will say like, oh, I've practiced this many times already. So it makes me think like, oh, that means before a lecture, he like drew all these diagrams out already. So he's not, we rarely run out of time. So my professors are doing a good job, I think.
Yeah, it just depends. I guess I just have one professor that's really bad, but I think he's just a bad professor in general. So, like, he's not good at explaining the concepts in lecture, and he pays attention to questions, but everyone's too lost to ask any questions anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Gotcha.
I actually have one class that's doing it kind of cool where it's like they're, well, actually, no. So the class is like the psych class I'm taking. We have 3 professors for every, I guess, module of the class, which is every 3 weeks. They switch off professors, right?
Wow.
And then one of the professors just like low key can't use technology well. I think this is the reason. So, because she messed up uploading the very first lecture or something after the actual lecture. So now she's just like, okay, I'm just going to pre-record videos and post them online for you guys to watch. And then our lecture time is just Q&A. So it's like office hours, which I think is probably a better format for like online classes.
I mean,
Okay,
I guess
that works.
my one question with that is, are these pre-recorded lectures the same duration as what your normal lecture is?
No, they're actually shorter a lot of the times because
Good. Yeah.
they're straight to the point, right? Like the reason,
as long as it's not longer.
Yeah, it's not longer.
Mhm.
I think the reason we have like time in real life is so that they have an idea of like how long they can speak and go, how much time they have to go over, versus an online like the point of like IRL is like, oh, now they have an idea of how long it is, and now they know they have a time to stop irregardless of the point.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, but meanwhile, online's like, if you're just gonna upload lectures, you have control of like how concise you are when you're speaking, or like how long, like how to break up the content based on literally, instead of like days, it's content, and you can just have just a specific amount of hours of just like the lecture content.
Yeah, we actually, so on UCLA Reddit, we had an incident of that. So the idea of IRL is pretty apparent now to us, because at the 50-minute mark, the next class, and then the professors and the students waiting to get into the lecture hall for the next class, they're kind of probing you to finish, right? So that they can finally get their spot. Yeah. As opposed to, I don't want to name this professor, but you guys might know him. So apparently on Reddit, his students were complaining that the professor just realized that he could just go over class time and just record. He would keep continuing to record and then just upload that. So his lecture would normally be an hour, but his go-to was, okay, I can just record up to 3 hours. So that's just additional work, right? Which I think is totally unfair. But that just comes back to the idea of,
is the number of content the same?
I think it was the premise was that it was a midterm review.
Yeah, or I think I saw that too. The issue was that so it's like it had class on Monday and Wednesday, right? But I think their midterm was like in between those classes. I'm not entirely sure, but what he did was instead of having the regular Monday lecture, they were going to have a review that day and do that Monday lecture along with the Wednesday lecture on the same day. So like it'd be more hours on that day, but it's like the same amount of content.
So there's no Wednesday lecture.
No, there is. It's
or like
kind of like
on Wednesday there is no lecture.
No, or I don't know when the midterm was, but it was like between that first and second day. And it just moved the material they were going to cover in the first lecture to the second lecture. after the midterm. So they were going to cover 2 lectures worth of material at once in like that 3-hour video or whatnot.
I don't think that's that bad. Here's my hot take. For example, if we were like in person, right? Say all content stops on Friday, right? Your midterms on Tuesday, and you have lecture Monday, Wednesday, right? And you're like expected to, you have to go through all the content of the course, and you need every single lecture day to do it, right? In person, the nice thing to do, the mean thing, or not mean thing, the expected thing to do, or what's preferred for most students, is that you have like a review session somewhere, right? Like every student prefers that. Usually it's up to the TAs to do it on the weekends, right? Now the professor's like, well, let's not have to hassle and do something over the weekend. Let's just do it in the lecture on Monday, right? So now you already have your pre-planned time to do it. However, we still have to go through what's originally on that Monday lecture. So we're just going to shove it on Wednesday. You guys will just have that content to study on your own time, right? Like it's not that, I don't think that's that big of a deal.
I guess from an organizational standpoint, for me, one video itself that's 3 hours long is pretty intimidating. And then also it's just having to keep track about where you are notes-wise, as opposed to if you just splice it up into lecture days that are more condensable and easily digestible.
Yeah, I also don't like it too much because it kind of like puts your whole schedule behind. So you have to review, look at that material later on.
Oh, okay.
Rather than earlier. So like if you have like a very fit schedule that you don't want to stray away from, then that's gonna screw you over a little bit. Especially if that happens more than once, like
Yes, that's fair.
More than one class as well.
Yeah. I've been doing classes like kind of weird. I've been doing them like, I just count them as like minutes of a class. Like, oh, I have X amount of minutes I have to get through to catch up, because I'm usually behind for the most part. Just how it is. So it's like I don't necessarily watch by lecture per se. I'll be like, okay, I need to do 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, and then I actually, for my notes, I timestamp like what day and what lecture and when he talked about this. So I always have like reference points. Anyway, I feel like that's like the brokenness of like online classes. You literally have a record of everything the professor ever said, and if you're ever confused, like, or say you're learning something, you think something's like kind of useless, or you don't know how useful it is, right? I'll just write, talked about this week 8 Friday, approximately 20 minutes. And I just move on. I don't really write down what he says. I just note that he talked about this at this time. I don't fuck the small details. It's just, I'll look back at it when I actually care about it, or whether or not it's actually important. And I think that's kind of like the easy way to do online classes, because I feel like actually sitting down and watching the whole lecture, you're actually like throwing. You're just wasting so much time, or like trying to sit there and trying to digest everything.
Also, one thing one of my professors is doing is, because he's not very technical, or like he doesn't know much about technology, so instead he's just putting up lecture notes like every single time where we would actually have lecture. I guess that's kind of similar. So, or like it's similar, but I mean, I guess you're not actually, he doesn't actually teach you the material. He just like writes it down, but in the same way you can go back and look at all the material instead of looking through a video. And I guess I'm just mentioning that because I think there's different ways to like go about this correctly, moving the lectures to the online format. There's different ways to make it work, and I mean, I think I've been happy with how that goes so far, because also it allows him to only go like through one section a day rather than like stopping randomly in a section or whatnot. Yeah, that as well.
But then, like, does he not have like a live Zoom meeting anymore?
Yeah, that's the only thing. There's a message forum, and you can also email him. I guess there's a discussion Zoom as well, but yeah, there's no Zoom lecture because he's not. He just admits he's not great with technology, but for me, it's been working fine, I'd say.
Well, as long as his notes are comprehensible, that's good enough.
Yeah, and he's pretty good at answering questions too.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, we really dissected how remote learning is going for all of us.
Yeah,
remote learning, garbage.
I think it's okay.
School has been a miss.
Yes, big miss.
But
There's definitely easy ways, but it's like I feel like people feel restricted to do how they've been doing it before in the past. I think that's the big issue.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I'm using my academic skills into other ventures now that we're home. I'm currently writing a book, actually.
Cool.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually a phone book. All I need is your number to finish it up, and then I'll send it to my publisher.
I hate you. You're throwing. I don't like
That was a
Please
pretty
delete.
late one,
I didn't
Sai.
hear that.
I was so surprised, and then never mind.
Has that actually worked on anyone? Do you drop that on Tinder?
Well, I don't have Tinder, first of all.
Okay.
I've never had Tinder.
Would you use that?
Let's say I do get Tinder. I have a pretty good bio.
Okay, what's your bio?
Okay. I hate when guys had to flex their heights on Tinder. It makes me sick to my stomach.
Say 6'2".
Yeah. So you write the sick 2 as 6'2".
Wait, did you say 6'2"? I only heard sick 2.
Well, yeah.
6'2".
Yeah.
We're too
didn't
we're
get
too
it.
smooth brained to understand how godly you are, Saichandra. Okay, just
Yeah.
sorry. So,
all my talent is being wasted.
I know. Right?
Let's just say that.
You know what I really miss? I really miss late night poker games where Jorge just wins. That shit makes me tilted every single time.
Do not well.
Yeah, Jorge counts cards.
Yeah, Jorge counts cards, and he runs the numbers. Like every time he looks in his phone, he's putting in like the probability of winning based on his hand and how people are playing. It's fucking cheating as fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
You guys-
you can
free.
get beat up.
Do you guys think counting cards is cheating? I'm just curious.
I thought it is, right? Or at least
I don't think
casinos
it
don't
is.
like it.
I mean, no.
Oh,
I think it
okay.
ruins the spirit of the game, but I feel like here's the thing. It's like there's always the right way or meta way to play something, right? And sometimes that goes against the spirit of the game, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter like, oh, are you really playing the game how it's meant to be played? If you're you're beating like the point of it, of the luck aspect of it, or rather the truly random aspect of it by counting cards versus you found out how the game works and you've managed to figure out a strategy that.
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of the time you're supposed to you're already playing based off of probabilities, right? So
You're trying
like
to maximize that probability.
yeah, so like counting cards just allows you to further establish even better probability.
Mhm.
So like I feel like it's fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
yeah.
also think counting cards is fine, but I think Randy brings up a really good point about the whole idea of integrity of the game, right? So I personally don't really count cards when it comes to casino games like blackjack or poker. But do you guys know what Egyptian warfare is or rat slap?
Oh, I like
I
rat
think
slap,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so rat slap, here's a fun idea for those who are listening and want to play fun and harmless card game at
Is
home.
that the game where you slap?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you have a deck of cards, and then and it's face down, so you don't know what the cards are. So you just play your top card, and then the next person plays their top card. Okay, so you flip a card and then you just flip it up so that the number or face comes up into the middle of the pile.
Yeah.
And then if you see 2 cards that are the same number, you slap, and then you take the whole pile. Or if you see a sandwich, meaning you see 2 of the same cards, and in between is only 1 card, you slap. And then the objective is to take everyone's card so that you're the last one. So for that, I memorize the cards. So like whenever someone wins a pile, I memorize the order so that I know when this player has to play a card, I know what card they're going to put. And based on that dictates at what time point do I slap so that I can just steal the pile.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So so not only did I explain the rules, but I also gave a brilliant strategy. So
Yeah, just memorize the cards 5 head. But I don't think that goes against like the same thing as like cheating and or counting cards in blackjack, because
exactly.
I feel like in the Egyptian war, the strategy is to have faster reaction time, right?
Yeah, it's based on reflex. So now by incorporating memorization,
you're lowering your reflex, which is fine.
Yeah.
Versus, I think the point of blackjack or gambling in general is like, oh, are you lucky, right? And
Yeah, but you can better your luck by counting cards, right?
And honestly, I think the issue comes with like people not liking the fact that you count cards comes from the fact that like the casinos don't like it when you win.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
you probably get in trouble in the casino. But yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah. So when you,
If you're,
were you gonna say?
I know, I was like, if you're able to count cards and do it in a timely fashion, then I feel like it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we do it, because we all want to win, and we're not playing. Whenever we play together, we're obviously not at a casino, so that's when we exhibit all of our tactics. Made a best man.
Also, counting cards isn't even illegal, right? No, it's just the casinos have the like the right to kick you out because it's their space. So it's not even like you're really breaking the spirit of the game. It's just the location where you're playing is like, fuck you. You are an issue.
Yeah.
They just kick you out. You can't count cards in poker though, can you?
You can only like look at the cards that have been flipped, and I'm guessing that's it, right?
Yeah. Whatever are the community cards,
Yeah, I guess there's a very small amount of cards to go from. But yeah.
I guess, I mean, you also have to make educated guesses on what other people have in their hand, right? Based on how much they're betting.
Oh,
Yeah.
So like,
that's hard.
yeah, that is very hard because you're not exactly counting cards. I mean, this is the way I see it. I could be entirely wrong, but just like you are still employing some logic, right? Like, let's say you flip over like the third card, and then I was betting minimal, but now I like go all in. Like, certainly that card has to match up with something in my hand, right?
Not necessarily.
Or does it?
Or does it? There we go.
I mean, that aspect comes from like understanding who you're playing with on the table, right?
Yeah.
Versus the probability of them pulling the card. A lot of it is like understanding your hand state and then understanding how other people like to play.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of like the different levels of thinking for poker?
No.
Well, like, okay, the first level is the very basic levels where you only look at your hand and you're like, okay, what do I have and what do I need to win, right? The second level is thinking about what other people have. Like, oh, what could they have? What could they have, right? The third level is what do they think I have, right? And then it's like, now how can you, to win that level, is how can you manipulate how you play to manipulate the way they think that what you have to influence their play on what's on the board, while including thinking about all the previous factors like your hand state and their possible hand state. So it's just like fucking. It's really, I think it's honestly a game of like altering people's perceptions of you while understanding some like basic math, really.
Yeah.
And that should be driving your play.
Yeah, I don't think counting cards can help you much in poker.
Because like the hands get shuffled.
Yeah.
Yeah, being able to lie is a pretty good skill.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since we were a child, we've been playing games like Mafia, right? And then there are board games like Secret Hitler. A lot of those employ rules like manipulating what other people perceive of you. And so,
I love Mafia. Mafia is so fucking good.
Mafia is a really lit game. Yeah.
We should have a day where we play Mafia.
Yeah.
I've never played Mafia. So
Oh, you'd be great at it, Daniel.
I feel like that means I'm not going to be great.
Wait, we need like more people. Maybe we can like invite like a party, a special episode where we play Mafia, like on Halloween or something.
Yeah.
Podcast episode where we just play Mafia.
I'm down. We interact with our audience directly.
Yeah, except it can't be a podcast. It has to be like a video. Because it's like there's no way to, unless we like go in post production and just narrate it.
I don't understand the game, so I have no idea.
Dude,
All right, I'll trust you guys.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. It's like have you ever played Skyfall?
No.
Okay, never mind.
I'll find out.
We'll teach you when we get to that point.
Yeah.
Do you guys consider yourselves to be good liars?
I'm terrible.
I'm terrible at lying.
I'm terrible.
Oh.
Are you?
I'm not particularly good. Like, people that really know me can see where I falter. But I think overall, because I have a pretty blank face, so like if I'm playing Mafia, I'll just keep a straight face, and then it becomes hard to read me. Unless, like I said, you really know me, then we're just on the same wavelength, you know.
Interesting.
So
You see, I know I don't think I'm a good liar per se, but I'm really good at like throwing off really random vibes. So like you can never like read me.
Yeah,
Like I think it just comes off as like I can't tell if he's trolling or he's not trolling.
I agree. Yeah,
Because
Yeah,
I'm
I
like
agree.
consistent in that high octane like dumb energy, right? So it's like fuck. I can't tell.
Yeah, I can't predict or anything.
yeah.
It's
I think
hard to play against you in poker.
I think we have
Okay.
some little bit more time to talk like one segment on like I don't know, fucking. You guys want to talk about nightmares? You guys ever had a nightmare?
I
We'll
think
just tell.
we talked about this in not about this particularly, but I
Talked about
mentioned
lucid
this.
dreaming.
Yeah, so I will never have a nightmare because I can lucid dream.
Okay,
So-
fuck you. Have you ever like given yourself a nightmare? Like, bro, I want to be scared.
I don't want to be scared.
No, I don't do horror movies, so no, I would never give myself a nightmare intentionally.
Damn. I
You've
usually
never
have,
had
like,
a nightmare.
I have like real life nightmares where it's like I think about what I'm gonna do the day of, right? And then I have my dreams are basically what my plans are the day are just going wrong terribly. Or like maybe the fact that maybe they even happened, right? Like maybe I actually woke up and I did stuff, but like I fucked up and I'm like going back to sleep to like rethink about it. And the only way that keeps me grounded is like when I wake up, because I wake up each time I have like the mini nightmare where like, oh, maybe I messed up in like in school, like I accidentally punched the baby or some shit, right?
Oh
I wake up and be like, fuck, did that happen? Like actually happen yesterday or like today? And I'm like, wait, there's no way I would have remembered it, or like I would have remembered more information. And then I fall back asleep, and then it's like a continuation of after I punched that baby.
What if, what if you had that nightmare? The very next day, you have an interaction, you see a baby, and then you have a deja vu moment.
I had that before. Like I see a baby, I'm like, fuck, this is like exactly like my dream.
Oh my.
So it gets really like spooky sometimes.
I've never had a dream. Oh no. I was gonna say I've never had a dream that actually related to my real life. My dreams are always so random.
I guess in a way that is the point of dreaming, right? To
That's true.
think outside of the box. Like if you
Yeah.
can, because your mind is pretty powerful. So why would you restrict yourself to something mundane? You know, why not think?
That's true.
What about you?
Something-
Jorge?
Or yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes my dreams relate to real life, and like Randy said, something not going the way you wanted it to, like just making you anxious and that kind of thing. That kind of nightmare. But then again, sometimes I have some like very strange dreams. So there's a mix. And sometimes those strange dreams also lead to nightmares, but I don't know, just I get wait, did we talk about like sleep paralysis in the last time?
I think briefly. Why do you get sleep paralysis a lot?
Yeah.
Dude, sleep paralysis sucks ass.
Yeah. It's like yeah, or like yeah, it's exactly where you're sleeping. You wake up and sometimes you can see stuff or sometimes you only hear stuff, and it's like things that aren't supposed to happen, like there's an animal in your fucking room. Like just like it's scary stuff. But you can't move at all. You're just lying there, and like it's to the point where sometimes I'll know it's happening. Like you just kind of have to sit it through.
But that's actually crazy. What the fuck? I hate
scary.
this.
That's,
I had a
that's scary.
thought. I was looking in my closet and I was just staring straight at the face, and I couldn't look away because I was paralyzed.
But yeah, like I said, I think my dreams kind of like wander around, so it's not always the same things.
Okay.
But yeah, it's I guess both. Nothing outrageously horrific except for the sleep paralysis thing sometimes, but sometimes it's good, sometimes bad. Like situations in real life and just also wacky sometimes. But yeah.
Sleep paralysis is not the fucking move. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you ever guys? Oh,
what? Continue.
have you guys ever had the feeling where like you're just like all of a sudden falling and then you wake up?
Yeah, I had
That
that all
what
the time.
I
Oh,
don't.
So, some of the times when I lucid dreamed, I like tried jumping off a big building or something like that. But then I'll wake up in the middle of it and never reach the bottom.
Oh, that's
Dang.
fucking
That's
scary,
sad.
dude.
Yeah, this is where I can flex because I always survive those jumps.
Like, cause you can fly. Right?
Yeah. So yeah, I like to dream of jumping across buildings. So let's say that I do end up like stumbling a little. I'll just find a way to survive. Maybe it'll be something absolutely ridiculous. Like I just land on my feet perfectly fine. That's not as fun, but it gets the job done, you know?
That's
Yeah.
OP. Why do you get OP ass dream powers, dude? I get fucking real life punching baby dreams. Come on.
Yeah. I like to live vicariously in my dreams
Fuck.
because my real life sucks.
All right. I think it's time we call it. All right.
Oh,
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and maybe 5th. Meet us in the
Wow,
lounge
you
podcast.
don't even know what episode we're on.
I don't even know anymore.
is it 4 or
Time
5?
is a
Yeah, I think it's
concept.
5, right?
I have
maybe.
no idea.
5 or 6. I don't know.
Five.
7, 8. Whoever's editing this,
Only real ones will know.
just add the number in. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I hope
you.
you're enjoying the podcast so far. If you actually see this and you want to give us feedback, please let us know what you want to hear, or if you want us to hit any particular topic, we can just hit it. Maybe next time we'll talk about near-death experiences, like how Daniel almost got hit by a truck.
Okay, whatever. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
Thank you for
And I was the
listening.
driver. All right. Thank you, everyone, for
Ah.
listening. See you next time. Hope to
Bye-bye.
meet you in the lounge.
Meet us in the lounge.